in Washington, D.C., was trying to fight this, trying to protect your civil liberties. And he and Senator McCain actually got into a little bit of a discussion where Senator Paul was actually able to ask this specific question. And I'll read the question to you. My question would be, and this is Senator Paul, my question would be, under the provisions, would it be possible that an American citizen would be declared an enemy combatant and sent to Guantanamo Bay and detained indefinitely? This is Senator McCain's answer. I think that as long as that individual, no matter who they are, if they pose a threat to the security of the United States of America, should not be allowed to continue the threat.
And folks, remember, according to the FBI, paying with cash is potentially a threat.
Well, paying with cash can get you on the list of being what they would consider to be a terrorist.
Yeah, but think about that. You pay with cash, you protect your identity, you buy some storable food, buy a flashlight.
So
next thing you know, you're a terrorist.
Let me give you a scenario here. You're, Joe Blow average citizen, right? You're kind of mad with what the government's doing right now. You want to see Obama get, removed from office, and so, but you also see the danger that's coming. So you start buying food. You start looking, you buy a couple, a year's worth of food, let's say. You go out and do that. You want to make sure that you and your family are protected, so you go out and you buy some firearms. Now, you buy a pistol, you buy an assault rifle, non-automatic, one that's legal. You go through the legal channels, you buy a shotgun, you buy a couple other items. So you went and did that. Then you wanted to make sure that you had waterproof and that you went to the Army Navy store, bought a bunch of supplies and stuff like this. Then you started to take away your 401k and you started investing it in gold and silver. And you started storing that gold and silver on your premises. You also paid for everything in cash. You didn't want to have a transaction anymore. You've just matched about 5 or 6 different categories of being a terrorist. Now, in addition to that, you go online and you put things out there where you're talking about how we need a change in government and, we need to have a revolution. Not a good word. I mean, once again, a very benign word, but you can use it however you want. I mean, revolution, what that means is really more to the person than it is to anybody else. Now that you've done all these things, you've now made it on a watch list. So now they can come by without going to a judge first, can pick you up and send you to Guantanamo Bay. And you'll never see a jury. You'll never be tried for anything.
You won't even be formally charged.
Yeah, you won't even be formally charged with anything. That's what they are going to pass in Washington, D.C. I want you to understand that's what they're going to pass. Whatever their reasons for it is inconsequential to the law that they're going to pass. Just like with many other laws where they'll say, well, this is what it does, and this is what it does, and this is what it does. What they say it does and what is written in the law is 2 different things. Now, the guy that in the Senate, we have 2, elected senators here. One of the elected senators, not the non-Democrat, we'll leave it at that, has sent a letter in basically saying that we're lying, that we're not telling you the truth. That Rand Paul, that Judge Napolitano, that anybody else, Justin Amash, who was over in the House side who voted against this thing at the time, that all of us are lying to you, that this is not what it does. Who are you going to believe at this point? I mean, really, are you going to believe a lying, criminal, treasonous, bad person? Or are you going to believe guys like Rand Paul, guys like Justin Amash, guys like Judge Andrew Napolitano, who have been warning you about this for months? McCain, I'm going to make this comment, and this is really going to anger some people. We always view every election as the lesser of 2 evils. Is it possible that Obama was the lesser of the 2 evils? Because if you want my opinion on it, I think that McCain would have done everything that Obama is doing when it comes to foreign policy, would have done everything that Obama is doing when it comes to healthcare, would have done everything that Obama is doing when it comes to continuing to encroach on the lives of the citizens. But here's the thing. McCain wants to step up the game and go ahead and actually, what's the word for it? Take the Bill of Rights, take the Constitution, and just to burn them. And that's what he wants to do.
Ironically, I can't believe I'm in the position of supporting President Obama, but to his credit, he has threatened to veto this bill. Now, whether he actually does it or not is another thing, But it brings up an excellent point. In this regard, at least, though both McCain and Obama are evil as far as I'm concerned, in this particular case, Obama may be the lesser of two evils if he vetoes this bill.
Well, before we go and say that, Obama's lawyers have come out now and said that citizens targeted if at war with the U.S. is okay, whether it be domestically or internationally. That Obama's lawyer said U.S. citizens are legitimate military targets when they take up arms with al-Qaeda, top national security lawyers in the Obama administration say Thursday. Now, that's it. That one's kind of benign when they take up arms with al-Qaeda. Replace that with if they take up arms with terrorists. Now, let's go back now to what we said. You wanted to prepare. You wanted to protect your family, so you started buying firearms. At that point, you are taking up arms. With all the other things that
you're right.
With everything else, now you've taken up arms, and you have all these other strikes against you, and you're going against the government. So these three things, you're a terrorist. Folks, this is not about al-Qaeda. This is not about the Taliban. This is about the government imposing laws that are going to make it possible for them to arrest anybody in this country at any time without any jury trial and sending them to Guantanamo Bay or wherever they want to send them. The other thing that they don't talk about in there is they can send you to another country, not just America.
It's about control. It always has been.
Well, you're absolutely right. It has always been about control. This is some of the final nails in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing. They are forcing our hand. We have always called for a peaceful revolution. We want it to be done via the ballot box. Votes like this are making it impossible.
Well, the one thing I will say is that everyone in the Senate who voted for this bill and everyone in the House who voted for it back in May have committed treason as far as I'm concerned. They have violated their oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And there's no clearer violation than this. Allowing the military to detain American citizens indefinitely with zero due process, that is an act of war on the American people.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other way to describe it. They're using the military. If this bill goes through, they will be using the United States military against the citizens of the United States of America.
Prisoners of war in our own country.
Yeah, that's essentially what we become.
You better take a stand on this now. Those that take a stand with us, regardless of party affiliation, more power to you. God bless. Those that don't consider us friends, don't consider us allies. You are an enemy to the Constitution, just like scumbag Rubio, just like Nelson, Bilirakis, Young, every other crap politician that voted for this. It is time to take a stand, and you better be on the right side on this one.